inside the church, it's interesting. It's still in use. There's a section where they have a stand, a pulpit, and there's lots of drawings, like the church for, when I was, I can't remember. I've seen so many churches lately. Anyway, it has lots of images drawn. There's the 12 disciples with Jesus on one side of the wall. On the other side, there's other pictures and the people in the pictures, okay? But the thing is that I don't know the saints, so I can't identify who's St. Christopher or who's St. Anthony or Francis of Assisi or something like that. Now, maybe Francis of Assisi would be easy to identify because he's got animals with him, because he's known for animals. But since I don't know the history of all these saints, I can't say everything about them. But it doesn't have as much candles as what the other church was that I was just at. There's one side where there's a drawn cloth against the wall, and up against the wall are chairs. So like I said, it looked like this church was definitely active still for sermons. And it is, because those chairs are there on the side, or nobody would go ahead and have the chairs in there, because they take them out every Sunday or Wednesday and whatever days that they may have a program, and be able to put the chairs there. Inside, it's very much of the wood with ornamental design on it, but it's all painted in gold. So it's very much a gold church. Gold fillet here, gold this, gold that, the filigree. So the gold is all across inside the church, and the lights are there right above where the person would be speaking in the center of the church at the front. There's a big gold cross, and it's hung up in the ceiling right above them. It's against the wall, so if it came loose, it won't hit them. Don't laugh, because I saw a church in the States that got hit by lightning. Sometimes if the people go bad, God brings judgment even in a church. But the idea is that with the church here, that it's ornamental. The other one had old pictures against the wall, but the walls themselves were white basic plaster. This one, the walls, like I said, you can't see any typical wall. It either has, for the cement on the wall, pictures drawn, or there's a wood paneling over it that's been done with lots of design, and as that design has been painted over with the shiny gold paint. So for the church, it's interesting because it's a pretty church. It's not much on the outside to look at. Inside the center, when you see the outside of the church from one side, you see this green dome. And in the center of the church, there's windows all across. And so that's why there's the dome, because it's elevated. Now, what I saw in Italy is that those types of domes mean that there's somebody in there, that it's a crypt. Somebody's actually buried in there. I saw several crypts, and they all had that church idea, but there was the round part at the top. And who knows, maybe it was so that they could have their souls go up to heaven. I don't know what the idea was, but it was the same design as what this one is. And so in the center, it has the windows, and then in the center of that is the metal. But when you go across on the entrance of the doors, again, there's some glass that can show the outside. Now, most places in the States, the Catholic Church, Orthodox Church, but they would have it with stained glass. This is not. This is typical glass. You can see the people on the other side on the street. So that's a little different. I think one reason why they put the stained glass, I'm not asked a priest, is because it will keep the person's attention in the sermon and not to look outside and look at the weather and the people going by. So with the church, coming back to the crypt idea, I remember when I was coming towards the outside exit, there was this big gold area that was gold metal. And when I was walking towards the exit door, God said to me, look down. So when I looked down, I saw that big gold spot, maybe, who knows, 8 by 12, something like that. And so the Holy Spirit had me take a look at that for a reason. And the reason may be because inside there is somebody buried. Like I said, I don't know. I'm just a foreigner. But I've been looking on the internet, and it said to come visit this church. Now, one of the churches that I was looking at on the internet said that there was a crypt. And the Saint Alexander that I showed you previously, there was no sign of a crypt. This other church, St. Sophia, I just came to previous from this one, did not have a crypt idea. It was more, the uniqueness is because it's all made out of wood and some of it is still standing. But here, because of that bottom area with gold on it, can be that someone is buried there. When I was in England and I took pictures over there, it was kind of an eerie feeling because it was real popular of putting people inside the church when they died. And that wasn't just the priest, that wasn't just a bishop, that wasn't just somebody that was very holy, but people would pay to be buried inside the church. And you'd walk all around, and it wasn't just one church, this was several churches in England. And you'd walk inside the church and you see the grave cornerstones with the name and the year, and then you go a few feet and another name and a year. So lots of people were doing that, and they would pay to be able to keep the church open and keep it looked after for eternity. And they would pay an enormous amount of money. I don't know exactly how much, but those churches are still active because people in several of these churches have paid to keep it alive for memory of them. Who knows if they think that, they're buried there, they're going to be able to keep the church with the person there to be, maybe not the worms don't get them, but they'll stay fresh. I don't know what the idea was, but they wanted to keep it open till the rapture. Okay? And so this gold on the bottom can be the same idea. Maybe the Suente Nedela, the Saint Nedela, maybe he's actually buried in here. I don't know. And that with him being buried, that's why they've got that golden area in metal, because he's down underneath the church. Jesus will tell us all with the rapture. Anyway, it was interesting. I'm sorry I couldn't go ahead and take the camera, unfortunately, but I did stand out the door, and there's nothing wrong with that. And standing out the door and putting a zoom lens on. When you come inside the entrance, there's lots of pictures painted on the ceilings as well. And up from where the dome area is, you had pictures up there. There were some angels when you walk outside, the door entrance to the outside. Maybe the angels there to guard the doorway or to bless you as you walk out, and they look after you because they do believe in the angels. They believe in guardian angels, the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church. And so I don't know everything about the church. I just know from my own experience as being a Christian and knowing the Bible and understanding what there is. Like when I saw Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel, I could see as into this is the story of the Good Shepherd, or this is the Pool of Siloam. And because I knew the Bible, I could know the church. And the same idea, looking inside here, they didn't have so much of Bible scenes. The 12 disciples, there was no Last Supper like I saw at the Alexander Church. But what there was actually a painting, like I said, of other people, all these saints. Since I don't know their history with saints, I can't go ahead and determine who they are and who the holy people are from, the city of Sophia even. But it did prove to be interesting. It was prettier than the other church. The other church had an impact because there was wood. It was made of wood. So that was nice. But for the beauty of the church, this one would be the one that was prettier, which is what the taxi driver told me, that this church was beautiful. He said it was very good. However, he said in his Bulgarian language, but I tried to make sense out of it because he said biosimo or something like that. And I said, oh, you mean beautiful? And he said, yes. So this is true to what he said, that it's a beautiful church. Compared to the Sistine Chapel, I'd have to say no, that the Sistine Chapel, I sat down and looked up in the sky and just had myself in meditation in awe of it, because I did read the book, which is over 1,000 pages, The Agony and the Ecstasy, that talks about Michelangelo and his life and him painting the Sistine Chapel. So I'm going to go for now. And who knows what happens. I've got a month or so, approximately a month. Today's the 17th. So I've got until October the 13th. And so I have close to a month of being able to look around. And if I see something else interesting, I'll put the camera on. If not, then we'll be off to another place. I'm not sure where that's going to be yet. I'll let you know when I get there. God bless you.